Marvel Studios has already killed off or removed a couple of original Avengers from the MCU, but it sounds like another one or two could be killed off in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. So let's talk about which Avenger they're targeting next. So when it comes to the MCU, I think most of you still remember which Avengers are officially off the board and or dead/killed off. So we're not going to spend too much time going over it, but obviously we got to touch upon the basics. First and foremost, Captain America. He is off the board. Now, he is not dead, although he probably is at this point due to age and everything. But in regards to that, we obviously know that Steve went back in time, lives the rest of his life happily with Peggy. He shows up as a very old man at the end of Endgame, and through suggestive dialogue, it's been presumed that Steve did die by the time we get to the more modern MCU with the most recent events. So if he's dead or not, again, we don't know, but he's off the board. He's an old man. He's not coming back, right? The other Avengers that are obviously dead are, one, Black Widow. She obviously, it was a sacrifice. She wanted to sacrifice herself for the greater good, for the mission. She did that, and she is no longer around. Her character, definitely not coming back. If she does, it'll be a variant, so that is what it is. And of course, there's another dead Avenger, Iron Man. Now, yes, Iron Man is dead, but yes, Robert Downey Jr. is back in the MCU. He's just playing Victor Von Doom. Now, we don't know if it's a variant of Tony Stark, if he's actually Victor Von Doom. Whatever the case is, we need to wait for Avengers Doomsday to find that out. So, Doctor Doom is not Iron Man, just so we're clear. So, yeah, Iron Man, Tony Stark is dead. So that leaves officially 3 of the original Avengers still on the board. The Incredible Hulk, Thor, and Hawkeye. And, well, 2 of these are apparently being killed off. So let's talk about the death of Clint Barton. So I think the reasoning behind this one is rather simple and self-explanatory. First and foremost, we know that Jeremy Renner is not able to act and do as much as he did before after a freak accident that literally left him dead. He had to be brought back to life after a freak accident where a Bobcat snow machine literally crushed him. It was a horrific thing that happened. And ever since then, he's been slowly getting back into acting, and we know that the Marvel roles are a little bit more physical. And we also know that Marvel was more or less not willing to pay him. What we know for a fact, as he stated in an interview some time back, was that he was in deep discussion about Hawkeye Season 2. And he even revealed some details in regards to the series. And, well, the series fell apart because when it came down to the final negotiation to sign the contracts and get everything done, they decided to cut his pay in half. He told them, rightfully so, to F off. And then he went online and he talked about it, and he talked about how he's no longer working with them. So the prevailing theory is that they're going to more or less either kill him off screen in a casualty or get somebody that kills him off, possibly Doctor Doom or someone in Act 1. And, well, Clint is gone now. There's another, personal reason for the Avengers to hate this guy. Now, truth be told, I don't believe that they're going to kill him off screen. If anything, they'll pay him a decent amount of money just for a small appearance to kill him off. That's how I would see it. I don't think that you can sell his death off screen. I think that that's very sad. I think that that's pathetic. That would be short-sighted. That would be a disrespect to one of the original Avengers. And an actor that goes literally back all the way to appearing in the first Thor film. That is a slap in the face if they do that. So, no. I'm going to assume personally that they will renegotiate a new contract for him. And if there's a season 2, it's going to be less demanding on him. But also, he'll maybe take a pay cut and just obviously be in less episodes, which then they can justify that sort of budget. And then on top of that, work him into at least one Avengers film if you are going to kill him off. Don't do it off screen. Which brings us to the Incredible Hulk. Apparently, he might be next. So the Incredible Hulk himself, Mark Ruffalo. Now this is an interesting one because there's been a lot of discussion about this, and from what we know, there is a brand new story arc for the Hulk that's being put together, if you will. And it's going to start, by all accounts, soon, and what they're aiming to do is develop the character through multiple projects again because he can't carry his own film. Now, reports are suggesting we're still going to get that World War Hulk film or Wolverine versus Hulk, but that he might be killed off in the near future. Also, some people have suggested that Mark Ruffalo's politics, what he preaches for, what he's been posting on social media have gotten him in a lot of trouble, but there doesn't seem to be any indication on that. Like, yes, he is very much posting, anti-current president stuff. That's very common for him to do every day. He's very much a socialist. He's very much posting about the ongoing, events in Palestine and things like that. He's very active, just like Tatiana Maslany. But neither of them have been told to stop. And as a matter of fact, they're still doing Marvel rounds talking about it. And we know that Ruffalo will be back. So I don't think any of that has any merit or anything on him being fired or killed off or anything. That's not going to happen. Honestly, I'm just telling you right now. If they were to do that, I think they would still get a lot of backlash, so it is what it is. And if people want to use that logic for Mark Ruffalo, then you would need to use that logic with Pedro Pascal, because he's literally been posting the same stuff over and over every day, every week, doing the same thing. I personally don't think they care what they post if it's in that direction on social media, so I think Hulk is fine. And the thing that people need to remember about the Hulk is that he's largely a CG character, so killing him off would be so pointless because you could easily recast actors, which I don't think they're going to do anytime soon because it's too late and Mark Ruffalo has left a, lasting impact on the character. And the other side of that is, since he's CG, you can use the Hulk till you reboot the MCU and you don't have a problem with it at all. And we've seen what they can do with makeup for actors and then a little CG, gloss on there to de-age actors. So it's really not anything I think people need to worry about or concern themselves about or anything like that. So in my book, Hulk, 100% safe. Ain't no way he's dying. But that brings us to the report of which character is apparently going to die and stay dead. And that's Thor. So per reports, Chris Hemsworth, we know that he's got medical issues, and we know that the regimen that they put actors through in Hollywood further amplifies the danger of these issues. So Chris Hemsworth, as people have seen, he's not as massive of a mass monster as he has been in the past. And obviously, we know they use CG now to augment it. Like if you look at the special features of Thor Love and Thunder, they even use CG to make Chris Hemsworth look bigger and specific camera angles and stuff, which honestly goes a long way into making sure these actors stay safe and, live longer. But saying that, apparently Chris Hemsworth, people believe that due to him saying goodbye to Thor with that big post he did like a month ago, which I thoroughly debunked because it was 15 years to the date that Thor released. It was a thank you, not a goodbye. Either way, though, people believe that that's him signing off, and now there's a report that they're killing the character off either in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, and that the intent will be to possibly bring in a multiverse variant of Thor that could be Chris Hemsworth or recast, but they want to kill his character off. Now, truth be told, in these Avengers films, the further along they get, the more you need to amp up the danger and the stakes and eventually kill off characters and lose them, right? To add, stakes to everything, right? You got to make it dangerous. You got to add some sort of emotional connection. People wanted that for Avengers Endgame. They kept saying, Marvel's never going to do it. They're going to chicken out. They kill off Tony Stark, and everybody rages that they killed off another character. but it needs to happen. So out of all the characters listed here, the 3 remaining original Avengers, I would say the more than likely one that's going to be killed off is Clint, followed by Thor, and Hulk in dead last. And Thor, certainly, why would you want to kill off a character that's essentially a god that can live forever? And I say essentially a god because he obviously ages slower. He still does ages and doesn't live forever. That to me seems short-sighted. But some people are also believing that maybe they're not going to kill some of these characters off per se, that they could retire them, and I put that in quotation marks, and then maybe replace them with multiverse variants. Now, in theory, I see what people are saying, but if a sacred timeline is reformed, you need to then keep one version of each character, right? Because in the sacred timeline, one version of each character existed. That's how it works. So when the multiverse shatters, that's how we get the rest of the universes. So if one sacred timeline is restored, you can't have 2 Thor Odin sons running around. So that to me doesn't work either, unless they write in a special new rule for some characters, which honestly could be a thing, but we haven't seen the film. So there we go, the 3 characters, and I told you which one I think is gonna die and which one isn't. So there you go. Now you know what to prep for, possibly when it comes to the next 2 Avengers films. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.